Hello and welcome back to the On Wrestling and another edition of AEW Dynamite Out, the final show before Revolution. Hangman Page and MJF would meet in a press conference ahead of their world title match as Speedball looked to avenge his World Trios title loss by taking on the Carl Fletcher, and Persephone returned for a match against Willow, so a lot happening on the show. And yeah, we started things off with Mox and Castanelli versus Takeshita and Hechicero. These teams tested each other early in this contest, fighting with confidence. The Swiss Superman thought he had turned around the momentum on the Alchemist with a running European uppercut, but Hechicero turned it around with a rolling leg pin, scissors, crucifix pin for a near fall. Castanelli fired back with giant spring, but couldn't get more than a couple of rotations due to the physical offensive toll on the Swiss Superman. Finally, Claudio caught the Alchemist with an eye poke with a small package seal win. Afterwards, the Doncast family laid out the Death Riders, but the Alpha refused to weaken Mox, making clear he was going to beat the Continental Champion fair at Revolution. A solid match that mostly boiled down to Castagnoli versus a Alchemist. Both men are talented enough to make that work, but Mox and Tesha were more set, obviously staying healthy for Revolution. The crowd reacted best to those two men, and post-match they sold the story, readying themselves for a long match. The Death Riders versus Cass family continue to find fresh pairings, but this story needs a more concrete hook. At this stage it's just two big mean stables trying to assert dominance, but I think over time that'll probably grow stale, so I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 for now. We then got Fletcher versus Speedball for the TNT title. Much like the Continental Classic, Speedball had Fletcher's number for the first 10 minutes of the TNT title clash. The Protestar almost knocked out Bailey by tossing him headfirst into the top turnbuckle, but Speedball didn't stay down, catching Fletcher with a standing moonsault, double knee drop and roundhouse for a near fall. Another moonsault, double knee drop on the floor set the stage for a top rope poison wire and a time adventure for a close near fall. The Protestar scalped a second time adventure, and then with a belly ducked ultimate weapon to stay in the fight. Okada distracts the referee while Davis got him out in one of the World Trios Championships to blast Bailey and follow up with a brainbuster for the win. Unsurprisingly, Bailey and Fletcher stole the show again. Their chemistry is obvious, and this shouldn't be the last time they collide one-on-one. They have not played to each other's strengths, but found ways to smartly call it back to their first match, showing a potential match. The final result shows that the Protestar retained, but there's also Bailey being sold as the top singles threat. It moved at a fast pace. Neither really had time to impact too much, but the action was too good to complain. The intentional choice to have this match followed Takeshita refusing help showed how much their former friends are diverging in philosophy. It'd be shocking to see Fletcher and Takeshita on the same side, even in Stubborn or Nothing, but I think it's a good story and I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Brody King then defeated a local competitor in a lack of seconds, courtesy of a Gonzo bomb. King promised to find the most dangerous man, only to be attacked from a crowd by disguised Swerve. This time, he broke the chain of Swerve and chucked him over the ropes. Prince Nana helped to Swerve to escape King, clearly rattled by the power of the Revolution opponent. The squash match was a stat padding contest, while the aftermath was what matters most. It's a vital spot for King to look scary, scaring that Swerve cannot take him lightly. It's a bit of a surprise that all the chain used in the build-up King v Swerve will be a normal match, but that likely won't stop them causing absolute havoc. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. As we then got Darby and Orange Cassidy versus Gabe Kidd and Dave Finlay. The resiliency of Allen and Cassidy continues to baffle the Dogs, who could not keep them down. Finlay could not break the Kid from the Daredevil Scorpion Death Drop until gouging the eyes of Allen, setting up a headbutt from the wall ready to nearly take the win. Freshly squeezed broke it up and helped clear the ring. Allen took Kid out with a missile drop kick to the floor, and Cassidy prepared an orange punch from the outside. Clark Connors stopped it with a tire iron and headed from the crowd. This left Allen to take a Finlay Dominator and Kid pile driver for the loss. Afterwards, the Dog continued to lay out their competition until Strong made a surprise return, teasing working with the Dogs before helping them clear the ring. It was only a good match, but did have an exciting post-match surprise. Strong's appearance and support Cassidy got a massive and deserved pop. Everyone did their jobs well, but it felt like 4 individuals fighting rather than 2 teams. Finley's arrival has massively turned the tide for the Dogs, leading to a much-needed victory. It'd be nice to see them get a singles action soon, though. This was all about momentum as we build towards the pay-per-view, and I'm going to give it a 6. We then got Willow versus Persephone, and Willow's size was no detriment to the power of the CMLL Women's Champion. Early in the contest, she threw around the TBS champ with relative ease. The Babe turned their tide into her explosive offense, nearly taking the win with a cannonball, but Persephone got her legs locked in the rope. Persephone got the closest to the win after a springboard moonsault, but only got a 2 on the pin. When Persephone got Willow up for the crucifix powerbomb, she was not ready for the Babe to shift her weight, escaping into a backslide for the win. Few women have impressed more in recent appearances in AEW than Persephone, and this was no different. These two quickly clicked and delivered a great title match with a strong build. Their speed v strength dynamics sold the challenger as a real threat. AEW should use Persephone in the coming year. It'd be great to see her defending that CMLL World title. The aftermath was low-key expected, setting up Willow for 2 title matches on Revolution, but it's a fantastic showcase of Willow's strong 2026 that she can be used on multiple matches. She's unlikely to escape Revolution with all the gold, most likely losing the Women's Championships to Lena Cross and Megan Bain. Still, the matches will be good, and Cross will also be showcased in a big way with a double match herself. So yeah, good stuff, 8 out of 10. We then got FTR and Ciampa versus the Bucks and Mark Briscoe, and while both teams fought hard, FTR and Ciampa had more cohesion throughout. In particular, they took out the Bucks and isolated Chicken, weakening Briscoe with a wild spike power drive through the announce table. Briscoe tried to avoid the running knee of Ciampa afterwards, but Cash helped distract the Chicken for the knee and the win. After the bell, Ciampa kept viciously attacking Briscoe, who he sent through a pair of chairs with a top rope air raid crash. This felt rushed despite its main event spotlight because not everyone involved was afraid of a sprint. Ciampa and Briscoe took centre stage in this contest. Similar to the opener, the two teams fighting at Revolution fought only in teasers, not wanting to give away what they plan to deliver on pay-per-view. So I'll go 6 out of 10. And then we got Hangman Page and Brian and MJF having a press conference hosted by Bryan Danielson. They were asked about their mindset, and both men played coy about their true feelings. MJF offered Hangman a drink, which set off Hangman. The two brawled out the conference. They made it to the ring where Hangman caught MJF with a dead eye and threatened to send the salt of the earth onto barbed wire. MJF escaped from running into the crowd, promising he was still going to win at Revolution. A decent finish for the night, though it felt a bit basic for how personal it became. It may have helped get these two men in tag action against one another, but AEW likely doesn't want to risk any kind of injury. The press conference format worked well for a YouTube post show, but I'm not sure during Dynamite it really worked. All the signs point to MJF retaining, but it's disappointing to see how he could defeat Hangman. He will likely need help, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that happens and whether Hangman really doesn't challenge for the world title again. We'll have to see. But overall, AEW delivered great Dynamite. It's fairly consistent out of late, but this go home show I would say felt a bit lacking. It's especially true because the big stories AEW left for Collision. This show announced a few late extra Revolution matches that could have had more spotlight. There was a fairly rushed episode as a whole, primarily relying on in-ring action. I mean, Willow versus Persephone, Fletcher v Speedball was very good. The rest of the night delivered strong in-ring action, but relied too heavily on talent AEW needs to protect. As a whole, Dynamite was an easy watch that quickly flew through, but yeah, I don't think it really would have persuaded any fans to really want to buy the pay-per-view this weekend. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.